I heard about P3 Theater Company on the phone. John and I go way back, actually. We used to do theater at the Curtain Call Dinner Theater in Tustin together, and that's where I first met him. And we did a lot of musical theater together. And then John got this passion to carry on what he had started back in Florida with a group called Laughing Matters. And he had done a lot of dinner theater out there and regular theater as well. And he wanted to get that going in California. And so he called me, picked my brain, and said, do you want to be involved? And I actually directed their groundbreaking first debut production of Evita, which is where I first met you. And it was wildly successful. And then the year 2020 came, and we all know what happened there. But we've survived. P3 has survived. John has more passion than ever before, and we're moving forward.
It's a funny story, actually, how I heard about P3. I had first moved to LA a couple years ago, and this was pre-pandemic, and I had just auditioned for the Doris Day show. So I heard about the Doris Day show through P3 Theater on Facebook, ironically. They just kind of popped up, said they were holding auditions, and I auditioned. It was one of the first things I did in LA as an in-person audition, and I got a call back, and it was really, really fun. And I didn't get to go to the callback, secrets. I actually got an email on the drive to the callback for P3 Theater for the Doris Day show that it had been cast. And I was like, great, fabulous. But I kind of knew that I would run into P3 again and I would see John again. So I just, kept looking at the page, see when they were holding auditions for other things. And then this came up, and it was the first show I auditioned for after the pandemic, the first in-person thing I auditioned for after the pandemic. I mean, it's still kind of going on, but after 2020. So that was really, really exciting. That first audition in person in LA, moved forward, pandemic, right after the pandemic slows down, first in-person audition again for P3 Theater. So it all just kind of worked out in a great, crazy way, and I get to be a part of this amazing show. So really, really happy I followed you guys on Facebook. Facebook is dying, but we are here, and we love Facebook for P3 Theater.
So I first heard about P3, I was just surfing through Backstage.com, and there was a posting that P3 had made for Terrence McNally's Love, Valor, Compassion, which was going to be done in Hermosa Beach. So I signed up for a slot. I picked out a character that I thought was really amazing, and I went in with the monologue provided, and I met John for the first time. I met Craig Turrell for the first time, both incredible human beings. That audition process, Craig Turrell has actually worked with my theater department chair, who I've worked very closely with, so he knew her by name, so that was very cool to audition for someone that my professor knew. And then going to that callback was really awesome. There was really not that many people there, but everyone that was there was so nice and so dedicated to not getting the part, but getting the text right. And it showed me that even just that one show, that one time that I had been there to audition, every single person was lifting each other up. And, we would go into the audition room, and John would lift us up, Craig would lift us up. And it was awesome. It was one of the best audition processes I've ever been a part of. So that opportunity did not work out for me. But because of that, now I don't know what John was thinking when he said this guy auditioned for a play, let's see if he does musicals. So he just sent me an email right after I got an email about not getting cast in Love, Valor, Compassion, and he pretty much just said that he thought it would be really good for me, and that he thought I should audition. And I was like, well, that's amazing, and I was very touched and honored that he wanted to reach out and still try to get me involved. I auditioned for him, and I did a quick callback for him. He sent back saying I was in the cast, and I was so excited. There were a few like kind of dark periods before then that I didn't really know if I was still going to be a part of theater anymore. Like I was really scared that I was just gonna throw it all away. But John Peterson, that man, the saint that he is, he's also insane with what he does, but in the best way possible. Sorry, going back to, I get to rehearsal with the full company. I'm the newest guy there, and they're all so nice. Just the same experience that I had at the Love, Valor, Compassion callback I was having in Funny Bonz rehearsal. That's when I knew. I was like, oh man, I gotta stay with this company. Like this is one of the most wholesome experiences in theater that I've ever had, and it came at a time that I really needed it.
First place I heard from a P3 theater was right from the very beginning. I knew John, who started the company prior to him founding the P3 Theater Company, and I was there right from the very beginning when he first started it and took that momentous step of taking the risk to even start a company, because so many companies, even with the pandemic, we've seen theaters just disappear because of various reasons and things. So it was a big risk for him, but I've been there from the very beginning of the journey, and I was fortunate to be able to help him in some small way when he was first starting out, and he had his first production, I believe, was Evita. And I know that was a big dream of his to bring that together, and I was awestruck to see all the nuts and bolts and the challenges that he had to overcome, and to watch it to grow from nothing into a real live production. It was pretty amazing to watch.
I heard about P3 Theater when they were first holding their auditions for Evita, which was their first show. And as John, I had worked with John before, so I came to audition, and then I've just been doing stuff ever since. I like P3 Theater because it's very like a family unit. They're a big family unit, and it's just so nice. And I know John puts so much passion and so much love into these projects.
So I first heard of P3 Theater Company in either 2018 or 2019, 2018 actually. So this was before their very first production of Evita, and I heard about it. I was doing a show with a good friend of John's, and he recommended that I audition for it. And what do you know? He ended up being the director of Evita. So when I got in that show, and the rest is history. I've just been with P3 since the beginning, and it's just been a wonderful ride.
I love P3 Theater Company. I met them right at the start. I was working with John before the inception of the company. And it's been lovely to watch it grow, watch Evita, and everything that has come after it. Really amazing shows and really amazing stuff. And I'm excited to be a part of that legacy, with Funny Bonz. I'm Hannah McMullen. I'm excited to be joining the cast of Funny Bonz, and I can't wait to see you there.